Okay. All right. Testing. Let's see how I come in on Twitch. Assuming I can actually move. Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay. Coming in pretty good. No, nobody cares. Kong's in my chat again. So like, oh, hello TikTok. No, nobody uses TikTok. No offense, Michaela.
Just for that one TikTok.
Have you tried going on your original account, Kong? It would appear that he's gone. Okay. Ugh.
I miss you.
My live ain't working. What do you mean?
I said that.
Looks like it's working to me.
Is that Kong?
Yeah, that's Kong. Yes, the stream works for her. The stream works for me as well. I'm not sure. Are you capable of viewing a stream that's in 1080p 60?
Sure. It's in people.
1080 pa.
1080p.
Let me see if anyone else from my Discord is coming in.
TikTok. Yay, TikTok.
Alrighty. Kind of was expecting a couple people to be here by now. Hello.
Me. A congy.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know who another TTV viewer is. It just seems to show up. I don't know who any of these people are.
Turn
left. Turn left. All right. What are you typing?
Nothing.
What are you typing? What is you typing? Cool. Well, I suppose anyone else who wants to know the whole tier list in full will either have to watch the God damn it. We'll either have to watch the VOD or the YouTube video that I plan on making of this. So this is going to be a YouTube video. So this is going to be the first ever full Spirits tier list for Smash Bros. This is going to go over pretty much everything that there is to go over when it comes to Spirits. So it's gonna cover all the primaries. It's gonna cover all of the supports, or more specifically, it's gonna cover all the skills, which may or may not be on a support and may or may not be on a primary, but skills in general. And then I'm gonna also do a character tier list. Now, the reason why I feel like it's necessary to do all three is because most people would expect a character spirit tier list, and the problem about doing a character spirit tier list by itself especially is that it's not necessarily accurate. Because the thing is, we don't know everything about spirits, so everything is subject to change. Everything about this tier list, every part of it, can just change completely in upwards of like a few months, right? Because we're constantly figuring out new things, you know, so some character can look like he's not too great, but then we discover this crazy bullshit combo that you can do with him. Otherwise, most characters are already good because they're already good in regular Smash, and you know, it just depends. It just depends. So I feel like it's more necessary to put in all the everything at once. So this is going to be a long video. It's going to be a long thing. So yeah, let's get started here. So I guess we will start at the top here. These are all. There's a lot of skills in this game. So this is a one image for every skill. There are a couple of duplicates here. I didn't realize that I already screenshotted these. I thought I didn't. So these two last ones are duplicates because they already exist somewhere else in here. So these aren't included, right? But all the rest of these, right? And then for primaries, we're going to cover all of the legendary primaries because almost every ace spirit in the game is completely outclassed by a legend spirit. So there's no reason to use an ace spirit at all. Unless you're doing like... Actually, no, even then. Because like, there is a build with weight down that Donkey Kong uses, but you can still use it just the same with a legendary spirit. So yeah, even then. The only exception is this one right here. This is Cloud. Or not Cloud, but Claude, however you pronounce it. He is an ace spirit, but he has really, really good stats for an ace spirit. A pretty good skill, and then and then 3 slots. So what are you typing now? Oh, you. So yeah, this is the only. Oh, I don't know where I put it, but that's the only ace spirit that's in this list. Everything else is just all the legendaries. So yeah, this is what we'll be covering today. Oh, my bad. There is a legend spirit that isn't in here, and that is absolutely Safe Capsule. And that's because I got rid of it one day. I forgot what I did with it. I think I used it for like an amiibo, just to be funny. But yeah, no, Safe Capsule goes here. It goes in C tier right here. There's no purpose of using it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, starting out, easier perfect shield. At least it works. Slow super armor. I will put it in B tier. I think it's like somewhere in between B and C, but it goes in B just because it works. Like, you know, well, just because like, I wouldn't say it's good, right? But it does change the game enough to actually give you an advantage, which is enough to do, like, to actually have a decent build with it. I don't recommend using it because there's so much better things you can use, and this loses to a lot of things. But it you know, it works. It does things, and if the player doesn't know how to counter it, it actually, yeah, it can work. Super armor, regular super armor. Yep, I am streaming. This is the first spear tier list for Smash Bros. Anyways, super armor, regular super armor, all the way top tier. The whole downside of slow super armor is the fact that you basically can't even move at all when you're using it, which means your neutral becomes predictable as hell. Your only viable strategy is to spam smash attacks and hope it works, right? The reason why this is very different from regular super armor is because regular super armor doesn't rely on that. You can still play neutral, you can still do combos, you can still do everything you would normally do. The only difference is you have super armor. So if you take a hit, you don't get hit stun until you're past like 100. And people underestimate how good that is. Now people already try to use a lot of super armor, but they use it for the wrong reasons. See, when people use super armor, they view it as, oh, I can just spam smash attacks all day and you know, not even have to think. But no, like, if you just do that, it's going to easily get countered by a lot of different builds. Anyone who knows how to grab, anyone who knows how to use projectiles, anyone who knows how to play against super armor is going to win against that strategy. So the best way to use super armor is to just use it the exact same way that you would use a regular character. Play the same way. Try to avoid getting hit. You know, do everything you got to do to not to actually play the game, right? So if you can do combos, right? Like if you're 1-2-3-L, and you can do the combos, and you know you actually know how to play the game, this is the best skill you can possibly use, because an enemy will try to hit you and it will fail because you will hit them you will basically be able to confirm out of someone else hitting you. Which means they're going to deal you with one hit. You're going to hit them like 10 times. Which there's just no beating that. There's no counterplay to it. If you use it correctly, there's no counterplay. It beats everything. Absolutely every kind of build in the game. And even without counterplay, it beats a lot of things. I mean, like, even if you don't know how to use it, it still beats a lot of things. But if you do know how to use it, oh man, it's no contest. This is, after considering everything, assuming you are at top level play, this is the best skill in the game. Period. There's nothing that beats it. Alright, so next, unflinching charge smashes. This goes to at least it works. Because, you know, it can be useful, but the odds of it actually doing something is just not... The odds of it actually, like, giving you a stock worth of use is just not very often. Like, you might be able to get a free hit once or twice because people will think they can hit you while you're charging, and then you know, it turns out they can't. But, you know, it at least does something, right? But it doesn't do enough to be in a higher tier. Auto heal. Broken. Same tier as super armor. It's not as good as super armor, but it's there. It heals you 3 damage every 5 seconds, which is disgusting. That means throughout every match you're healing like upwards of like 100 plus damage. That's like a full stock and a half that's giving you. Like, let's see, how much is a match? A match is 8 minutes, assuming you go to time. So, let's see, 8 minutes. So, 60 times 8. That's 480 divided by 5 times 3. You're healing 288 damage in a full 8-minute match. That's disgusting. You're gonna that is like 2.5 stocks there. That is like 2 stocks at least. That is giving you for 2 slots, for 2 support slots. That's what you're getting every match. Now, granted, it doesn't matter if like there is counterplay to this, and that is kill them quickly. But your job is always to kill them quickly. That's not real counterplay. It's something. It's better than no counterplay at all, but it's just doing what you already do. That's the only way to even have a chance against an auto heal character. Great auto heal. Same reasons, right up here. This one heals even more, but also costs more slots. So instead of healing 288, it heals a full whole 480. Because it's on average 1 per second, and there's 480 seconds in an 8-minute match, so you're gonna get all 480 healing. That's disgusting. This is disgusting. Imagine healing 480 damage. That's all 3 stocks. If you if you live all the way to time and you got hit the moment the battle started, you have healed 480 damage. That is like 3 full stocks or more. It's on average, I guess, 150. What is that? Divided by 3. You can survive up to 160 for every stock. That's disgusting. It's crazy. Right, so great auto heal, disgusting for the same reasons that regular auto heal is. The only difference is great auto heal is stronger, but you're able to use it on less builds, while auto heal it's not as strong, but you're able to mix it with more things since it only has 2 slots, right? So those are both good. Healing shield, at least it works. You heal, I think, 10 damage from a full shield break, or was it 15, something like that. And this is entirely dependent on how much of your shield is taken. So if you have shield HP on top of that, it's not going to make much of a difference because it still takes that full shield amount to heal that much. So it definitely heals you. It definitely works, right? But it's not powerful enough to make a big difference in a match, unless you're shielding all the time. And if you're shielding all the time, then you end up being very vulnerable to grabs. This has a lot of counterplay to it. It might be able to go into useful, but not enough. It's just not enough to be considered actually useful, right? KLC damage. It works. Again, doesn't really give you much. I forget exactly how much it gives you, but it's not enough. It heals like, I want to say 30 or less. I can't remember exactly how much, but definitely not that much. What? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Kong's texting me for some reason. Alright, so critical health healing. Again, at least it works. Not particularly useful, but they both kind of heal the same kind of situation. I'm not 100% sure if I have the stronger version in here. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, I do have the stronger version. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on here. Same tier. This has to cost 2 slots, and it gives you like 75 or 100 or something like that. But it does it once per game. So, not... Actually, you know what? This can go into the useful category. Which at least is something. It's something that you might actually use, but it's not what I recommend. There's a lot of better things. Move speed. This actually goes into useful category because believe it or not, there's a lot of combos that are very delicate with your movement speed. So sometimes you actually do need to tweak your movement speed very, very slightly with a skill such as this. So there's actually plenty of situations where this will make or break a build. Next, we got breaking ability. For the same reasons of combos, this also works because it helps you stop faster after dashing, and this actually can make a very big difference on your combo ability. Perfect shield reflect, at least it works. Lightweight, this is actually in the very strong category. This is our first very strong thing because unlike the style, because there are styles, especially for lightweight, so there is a lightweight style, and then there's a lightweight support. The big difference between them is that lightweight supports doesn't actually have much drawback. So what it does is it increases your movement speed, and it increases your jump height, right? And then the drawback is it decreases your weight. Now, the reason why this is better than the style is because the style also decreases your attack and your defense. This one does not. So you still have the same damage, but you still have all the same benefits, right? And this costs 1 slot. So it's a lot of utility, a lot of mobility. This can make or break your recovery, can make or break your combos, and it costs 1 slot out of all that, and makes you a little bit lighter. That's the drawback. So you die a little bit earlier, but for a lot of builds, that doesn't really matter. So it's in the very strong category because of that. Because you can get a lot of use out of that. Jump goes in the useful category for the same reason as movement speed. Increases your combos, increases your recovery, a lot of stuff. Floaty jumps. It also helps a lot for combos, even more so than the jump height, because basically it decreases your fall speed. So for that reason. It increases your floatiness, which actually prevents you from taking combos. In fact, actually, now that I think about it, this should go in here, because this can actually make it harder for you to take combos yourself. Some combos that would be true on other characters will stop being true on you just because you don't fall enough for it to work. So this actually goes in very strong. So you can not only avoid combos with that, but you can also deal better combos yourself with it. Like, this especially helps ladder combos as well. So, additional mid-air jump. There's a lot of controversy on where this goes. Everyone agrees that it should either go in A tier or S tier. In my opinion, it's S tier. It's barely S tier, but it is S tier. See, because this is the entire reason why ladder builds work. If it wasn't for this, 90% of the ladder builds that are created, which are essentially builds that turn other characters into Bayonetta, makes it to where they have some sort of combo that kills you at like 0% or like 40%. Almost every single one of those builds utilize this skill right here. And this build wins against almost everything. The only thing that this loses against is super armor. And here it is right in S tier. Because the thing is, super armor, you can't combo super armor at all. So it doesn't matter. Landing lag. This goes in useful. There's debate that it can go in very strong, but the problem is there's not enough actual proof of that. Because landing lag, what it does is, if you remember melee L canceling, that's basically this move, and that's basically this skill in a nutshell. It's one slot, and it decreases the amount of frames that it takes after landing with an aerial. It decreases the amount of frames it takes to get back up. This does improve Peach float canceling, which can be broken. It improves the general combos for a lot of different characters. But the thing is, we haven't seen enough evidence of this actually working to put it in the very strong category. The only actual use I've seen of this is aerial loop combos, and basically what those are is a special build where it has like maximum weights, the lowest possible jump height, and then is basically someone doing a certain aerial over and over and over again, and it combos into itself. That's why I call it an aerial loop build. And while these can theoretically, assuming you don't mess it up, it can theoretically be an infinite combo, the problem is landing it. Because the thing is, you sacrifice everything else your combo has. I mean, you sacrifice everything else your build has. You sacrifice all sense of neutral, you sacrifice everything. The only thing you can do is that one combo, and then otherwise you're at the same state as slow super armor, but you don't even get super armor. You see how the thing is? You can't even trade with people, right? So how are you gonna get the kill? Unless you literally like already have a kill combo, it's not gonna happen. And then the thing is, in order for this to work in the first place, you have to land one specific move. And that move, you don't get to choose. It could be a bad move. It could be a good move. It could be like an okay move. But every move has a counter. So all it takes is 2 seconds for someone to figure out that you're using that kind of build. And then they can easily camp you out. They can easily beat whatever you're trying to do. And that's it. They win, right? So it's useful. It does have a use. But for the same reasons as... actually, no, I don't think I have another thing that is similar to this. Because we haven't seen enough actual good usage of this skill, that's why it's going in B tier. Because if we did have something that could actually use it, and use it very well, it might go in very strong. But until we see that, it's not there yet. A friend of mine really argues that it should go in here, but he hasn't been able to prove why so far. It's just, oh, cool, right? Alright, easier dodging. It goes in useful, same as the rest of these. Because It just increases the amount of frames that your dodge is active, and it increases the amount of distance you go with a dodge. So for some characters, this is very useful. This is very useful. Insta drop. This is also in the useful category. You can create some combos out of that, but for 2 slots, it's not crazy enough to go into A tier. But you're still gonna get some stuff out of this. You can increase your pressure. You can there's things that you can do out of this, but it's not enough to go into A tier or anything higher. Battering items. At least it works. Shooting items. At least it works. Of course, these are only useful if you're actually using an item, and a lot of builds would use a combination of these things. But honestly, it's not good enough to be on the same level as all these. Then you have throw items, same situation. Item gravitation. This is actually useful because most item builds, the part that makes them good is the fact that you can pick up the item back. Because if you use the right combination of spirits, you'll be able to throw an item, pick it up immediately, and then throw it again, and keep throwing it. So like you can do like crazy beast ball combos, or there's just a lot of really good combos that you can use that involve this skill right here. So it actually does go in the useful category. Air defense. This actually gives you, I believe, a 30% reduction on attacks that you take while you're in midair. Now keep in mind, this is not aerial attacks, right? This is attacks that you take while you're in midair. It's actually kind of misleading because the description actually says taken from attacks in midair, or wait, no, taken from midair attacks, but it's actually the attacks you take while you're in midair. And the reason why this is important is because all combos, pretty much every single combo that exists, you take most of the hits while you're in midair. So this is huge because that's a 30% resistance to pretty much everything that you take that's a combo, right? And that's really useful. So very strong. Beam sword equipped, that's in useful. Killing edge equipped, that's in useful. Firebar equipped, that's also in useful. Death scythe, that is in at least it works. Lipstick, at least it works. Star rod, at least it works. Ore club, useful. Ray gun, useful. Well, actually, no. At least it works. Super scope, at least it works. And then this is because of the quality of the actual items themselves. Weapon resist, useful. No. Yeah, this goes in at least it works because the thing is, it's 2 slots. 2 slots is the only reason why this skill is bad. Or not bad, but you know, at least it works, right? Rage blaster, at least it works. Aura resist. This is matchup dependent. This is the first matchup dependent thing that in fact, weapon resist actually goes here too. So this is the start of the matchup dependent tier. It means it's not necessarily bad or good, it just wildly depends on what you're up against, right? So like aura resist is gonna work if you're up against Lucario specifically, but no one else, right? And it's gonna be decent if you're going up against Lucario, but that's just Lucario. Super long star equips. You might be able to get some cheeky things with this, I guess. So at least it works, but matchup dependence, matchup dependent, matchup dependence, matchup dependence, assist killer, rule set dependent. This is a rule set dependent skill. So basically, these are skills that can be good, can be bad. It just depends on what you're playing in. If you're playing on a rule set with items, with assist trophies, this is going to be decent. But otherwise, it's going to be useless. Fist attack. Now, this actually represents every single. Now, the reason why I have this here, this actually represents more than one skill. This represents all of the skills that increase your attack by of something, right? So like if it's all like fist attack, shooting attack, air attack, let's call it name an attack here. Any blank attack up spirit falls in the same exact tier as this skill, which is why I have this representing all of them. And now those all go in At Least It Works. Made of Metal, At Least It Works. Now you might be thinking, oh man, when you're metal, you basically don't take knockback. Isn't that broken? Yeah, but you're in metal for like 15 seconds at the start of the match, and nothing else. That is it. That is the end of your metal. So, congratulations, you take less knockback and less hit stun during a time when it doesn't matter at all. All right, Fire Flower equips. I believe it goes in At Least It Works. Yeah. Green Shell, At Least It Works. Shield damage. Ooh. Shield damage. Unlike everything else that involves attack up, this goes in very strong. Shield damage. Now this is the reason why it has black text is because this is from an enhanced primary that the screenshot is, but keep in mind this is the same skill as the support, so they're identical, right? Which isn't true for everything, but they are identical. Oh yeah, weapon attack, that also goes in At Least It Works, because this is primary specific. But anyway, so this increases the amount of damage you deal against shields by 30%. 30%'s a lot. This one, it only increases it by 10%. So like all the attack stuff, it's only by 10%, which is, it works. It's not useful, but it works, right? Shield damage, however, that's 30%. 30%'s pretty big, especially if you stack another one on top of that. I believe it goes up to 45% or 50% or something like that. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was 45. Still, 45% more damage to shields. That means a lot of things that would just deal a good amount of shield damage end up just breaking shields. Shield break builds are very, very strong in the meta. So, basically the point of a shield break build is surprisingly not to actually break shields. See, you can break shields, but the point of them is to get your enemy to stop shielding. Because if they can't shields, they're not going to shield. If they get the hint that, oh wow, if I keep blocking your moves, I'm going to get my shield broken because of this, then they're gonna stop blocking your moves. And that removes one of their most important defensive options. So it creates a more predictable neutral for them. They just don't have any counters to a lot of your moves. You can sometimes just do things and there's nothing they can do about it but dodge, which can be punished, and it turns into a tech chase. And basically the enemy has to play around this the entire game, and that's why it's in a very strong category. Because if they don't play around this the entire game, it's not going to happen. They're just going to lose. They're going to get their shield broken. They're going to take a lot of extra damage than they should be taking. This is super, super useful, assuming you know how to use it. So that's why this goes in very strong. Boomerang, this actually goes in useful because boomerang combos are pretty sick. There's a lot of things you can do out of boomerang. This automatically jumps back onto you. Like it automatically goes back to you. And you can get a lot of use out of a boomerang, right? Now keep in mind, items. I forgot to mention this, but items are a little bit different in spear mode. There is a multiplier. In fact, I probably should have prepared this sooner. I should have prepared this sooner, but there is a multiplier, right? So the multiplier affects everything differently. So attack doesn't necessarily mean the same thing for everything. It's kind of weird. So how do I put it? Let me bring up the SSB wiki. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Right, so this is odd, but this is how it works. So, this is the formula for attack. So you get 1 plus attack. Now this is the attack stat, right? Attack times 4 divided by 10,000, right? Now what this means is that 2,500 attack means you're dealing double damage, and then 5,000 means you're dealing triple damage, and then 7,500 means you're dealing quadruple, etc. Right? What's weird is not all attacks receive this formula for their multiplier. Right? Final smashes get 1 instead of 4. And items get 1.5 instead of 4. So in other words, both final smashes and items deal less damage in Smash, in Spirit Mode. Just because. Both items and final smashes deal less damage in Spirit Mode. And it also makes it to where your smash attacks charge faster for some reason. So smash attacks are going to make your smash attacks fast. Attack is going to make your smash attacks faster in Spirit Mode. So that's a cool bonus. But now the reason why items are still good, there's actually a very strong reason why items are still good. It's because items are not only good for the damage they deal, but they're also good for the stage control they give you. So if you have a ton of items on screen, you're going to get a lot of stage control out of that, right? So it's going to be easier for you to keep getting items. Now, this makes it snowball slightly less, and it makes it to where you can't just immediately die at the moment someone gets a few items, but it still makes the items very useful. Like, items are already useful, even despite it. Even despite dealing less damage. Final smashes, on the other hand, this destroys most of them. Most of them are completely unviable just because of how much they rely on the amount of damage they deal. And if they deal like a fourth of the damage that they're supposed to be doing, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So this, you got to keep this in mind. Also, defense takes a ×6 multiplier. Now, granted, the way that the formula works is a little bit different. It's a 1 divided by 1, but the reason why is so that it's a little difficult to explain. But the reason why is so it doesn't ever hit 0. It just gets closer and closer to 0. However, stat-wise, this actually makes sense, right? So, like, let's say, look at it this way. So you have 2 times attack, right? So that means you're dealing twice damage, right? So let's say if you have 2 times attack, you're dealing twice the damage, right? But in this case, it would be 1 divided by 2, right? So 1 divided by 2, it means you're taking half the damage, which means, or rather, it's resisting half the damage. And if it's resisting half the damage, that means you have twice the health, right? And if it's resisting 3 times the damage, you're taking 33%, you're taking 33%, but it's you still have 3 times the health, right? So it still works out the same in practice, but I know it looks weird doing 1 divided by this, but that's how it needs to work in order to still be a linear, even though it's not a linear equation, it's how it needs to work in order for defense as a stat to be linear, right? This actually caused a lot of confusion. I had like a whole night debate with my friends who also worry about Spirit Mode about how defense is linear, but they just couldn't get it. It was like, oh, what? But it clearly says it's not linear, but it actually is. So when it actually comes to the amount of how do I put it? When it comes to the amount of difference it makes is going to be linear, right? Now, after realizing that, you must have, noticed it says times 6, not times 4. That's correct. Defense is statistically stronger than attack, and it stays true no matter what. The way you calculate the true defense that your spirit has, multiply it by 1.5. That's the easiest way to do it. So, like, for example, if you have a 6,000 attack, 6,000 defense spirit, you really have a 6,000 by 9,000. That's just how it works. That being said, though, it's important to have both. So, Save Capsule has 10,000 defense, right? But what's cool is, you might think to yourself, well, 6,000 times 2... I mean, not 6,000. 10,000 times 1.5 is 15,000, right? So you might think, oh man, 15,000 defense. That's broken. Because, I mean, you divide that by 2, then you have 7,500 by 7,500, right? So there's no spirit with those kind of stats, right? So theoretically, you might be thinking, well, isn't Save Capsule the strongest in the game? And the thing is, it's not. Because, look at it this way. Anyone who's played Pokemon Go might already know this, but if you... Let's say you have like a little guy. Let's open a art program for this. I have Psy. So, this is a debate. I mean, this is a... This is a little visualization of what I mean. Let's say you have a little guy. And then, so you got his sword, and then you got his shield, right? And I know this looks terrible, but work with me here. So you got 1 and 1, right? Or rather, 100% and 100%. So his total strength would be 100%, right? Because he's just as strong as normal. Now, you get the same guy. Let's see if I can copy and paste here. There we go. Alright, so you have 3 guys. One guy has 100% attack and 100% defense, which means he has 100% strength, right? The next guy has 200% attack, right? Now, if he has 200% attack, let's say he's wielding a sword, right? Then his strength also becomes 200, right? Because it's going to deal double the amount of damage before he dies. So this means he has 200% his total strength. And then let's say you have a defense guy. This guy has a shield. He also has 200 defense. He has 200 defense and therefore also 200% strength, right? Because obviously he is, he has a shield. So he's surviving twice as long. So therefore he's going to deal twice as much damage before he dies. And then also be 200%, right? But can you take a guess what happens if you get a guy that has a shield and a sword, right? So let's say this guy has both a shield and a sword. He has a Pokemon game, Sword and Shield. So that means he has 200 and 200. So how much does he have? He has 4 times the strength. He's going to deal twice as much damage and then survive twice as long. So he's going to deal 4 times the amount of damage before he dies. And this is why having both is important. Because having 5,000 attack and 5,000 defense is far stronger than having 10,000 defense or 10,000 attack. So you just have a point where balance stats are the most important. Now, of course, you think about the balance as in having both attack and defense, right? You got to keep in mind the 1.5 multiplier on the defense, but still, just try to keep your balance. Just try to keep your stats as balanced as possible, right? So it's not like too crazy. It doesn't matter that much, but it matters a lot, right? So if you are a little bit off, it doesn't matter, right? But the key here is to not use completely polarizing primaries, right? As long as your primary is somewhat balanced, it's going to be good. Of course, we're going to talk more on this about the on the primary segment, but yeah. So moving on this though, undamaged speed. At least it works. Stats plus after eating, matchup dependent. Or wait, no, actually rule set dependent, because most rule sets, food is not going to be a thing. Freezy equipped. At least it works. Critical health stats. At least it works. Evil mushroom. At least it works. Black hole. At least it works. Lava 4 resist. Matchup. Rule set dependent. Jump down. Literally negligible, because there's very few circumstances where you actually want this particular skill. And even then, you don't actually need that particular skill, so it's going to go in the D tier. Lava 4 immunity, rule set dependent. Water weakness, negligible. Slumber immunity. This is going to be matchup dependent. It is probably the best matchup dependence skill that we're going to talk about, and we're going to go over this shortly. But for now, just keep in mind that we still have more to talk about with this one. Falling immunity. This is matchup dependence. Strong movement resist, rule set dependent. Poison heals, rule set. Critical immunity. At least it works. Ice floor immunity. Rule set dependent. First strike advantage, at least it works. Metal and giants. At least it works. Now, you might be thinking, oh man, Metal and Giant. Those are 2 really good skills. They're kind of not. In fact, maybe it might go in useful, but like the bottom of useful, because... And that's more because the Giant than the Metal. Because Giant, at least if you get lucky, you can take a stock with it, but you're not going to be taking any more than that. Because that's just at the start of the game, and it's just for the first stock, so you know, not gonna make a difference, right? Fog immunity, rule set dependent. Swimmer, rule set dependent. Irreversible pulls, all these are rule set dependent. So, oh boy, lifesteal. Oh boy, lifesteal's fun, isn't it? A lot of people are going to be very, very confused when I do this. D tier. Negligible. One of the worst skills in the game. I'm already hearing all the people just like, what? All the kids going, oh man, what's wrong with lifesteal? Man, lifesteal sounds broken. Have you never played a game with lifesteal? I've played plenty of games with lifesteal. And in those games, lifesteal's actually good. Take a wild guess on how much you actually get healed by this. You get healed 3% of the damage you deal. 3%. Now, 3% doesn't sound too bad at first glance, because you're like, oh, well, I mean, you know, it's not as much as I expected, but at least it's something. No. You're thinking of 3% lifesteal in a RPG. In a game where you're generally dealing far more damage than you're actually taking. So, like, think of it this way. You're in an RPG. You have 1,000 health, and you're dealing like 500 damage per hit. 3% of that 500 is going to mean like 100. What was that? Yeah, you're gonna be healing 15 damage per hit. You know, it's not like crazy good, but you know that's a lot, right? Especially if you're hitting a lot of times. In this game, you're dealing the same amount of damage as the amount of damage you take. You both have the same amount of health. You deal 100, they deal 100, right? So let's say you're in a match, you're equally skilled, you're hitting each other with the same moves. You have taken 100 damage, your enemy has taken 100 damage, right? If you add the skill into the equation, you're given you are now at 100. Well, rather, okay, you are now at 97, and your opponent is at 100. That's not a very big difference at all. In fact, that's so little of a difference that odds are, if they hit you with a kill move, it's still going to kill. There's very few try to think of all the circumstances where you barely survived a move or barely died, right? That's the only circumstance when this is going to make a difference. Throughout a full game, you are going to heal less than 15 damage. That's disgustingly small. If you think about it statistically speaking, this is just the same equivalent of dealing 3% more damage, or roughly 3% more damage, right? And fist attack, this skill alone, which already goes in C tier, only gives you 10. But 10 is still more than 3. So this is just absolutely useless. It's one of the worst skills in the game. There's only a few skills that are less useful, and most of them actually weaken you. Yeah, that's how disgustingly small this is. Weight double up. At least it works. There's not much actual use for it outside of a tank build, especially considering it's only on one primary. That's not even that good. But it's there. It sure works. Critical health defense. At least it works. Jump up, which isn't to be confused with jump up. So hold on, let me move this. So you might be confused as to why there's 2 here, and that's because the enhanced primary version of a skill is different than the regular version. Or either that or the regular primary version. Either way, they're both almost the same skill. There is a slight difference between the two, but they're both just as useful. Therefore, they both go in this tier. It doesn't matter if this is the wrong. Image for it, because it might be the regular primary. I forget. But the fact of the matter is, these are technically different, but they still go in the same category. Armor Knights. Oh boy, Armor Knights. This is one of my favorites. This goes up all the way to Broken, to S tier. Right alongside Great Auto Heal, and Super Armor. This bad boy is a 2-slot spirit that increases your attack by 15%, or rather, gives you a damage increase by 15%, and then gives you 44.444, repeating, damage resistance, right? Now, keep in mind that thing I pulled up with the wiki, how a 50% damage resistance is equal to 2 times the amount of overall health that you have. Like overall bulkiness, overall survivability. So that 44%, so 1 divided by 0.4444, ends up... Wait, that's not right. That's actually not right. Oh, wait, no, yeah, hold on. Since it's 44, the actual amount that you have is... The amount of damage you take is 0.5555, well, 56666, right? So basically, 1 divided by 0.5666666. Wait, that's not right either. Let's hold on. I think it was 555. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. It means you have 80% more survivability. So this thing gives you 80% more survivability, and it increases the damage you deal by 15%, right? So times 1.15 means it gives you a 107% statistical overall increase because of those two aspects combined. And you might be thinking, well, what's the drawback? 30% less movement speed. That's it. You move a little bit slower. This is actually less of a difference than tank style, right? It's not like slow super armor difference. It's barely noticeable, right? And it can easily be counteracted with lightweights or move speed. What do you know? So, or half the styles in the game. Runner style, land style, lightweight style, they all counteract this completely. And it also doesn't affect your jump height at all. It just affects those, right? It just affects the movement speed. Next, so this crazy strong, and you can stack a second one. If you get Black Knight, you can stack a second one because you have the support and you also have the Armor Knight from the primary, so you can have two of these. Now, keep in mind when you stack two of the same skill, it has depreciating results. I can't remember. The thing is, the amount that it depreciates depends on the skill itself. It's not like a specific formula, but you know, that's something to know. Then we have undamaged attack and speed. At least it works. Giant killer. This is matchup dependent. It only works if you're up against giant. That's really it. Wait, did I already find metal killer? I guess I did not. Okay. You need to equipped. At least it works. Weight down. At least it works. Weapon attack and movement speed. This would be a useful skill. This would go in useful because it does have the movement speed. That's more or less why it's useful. And instead of it being a 10% increase of both, it's a 12% increase of both. If I remember correctly, or like 15. It's more than the usual, right? So this would be good if it wasn't a 2 slots, right? Now there are certain primaries that had this skill. One of which is actually pretty decently good. And if it was a 1 slot skill, this would go right here, but it's not a 1 slot skill, so that goes right here. Poison damage reduce, that is rule set dependent. Poison immunity, that's rule set dependent. Giants, at least it works. You might be wondering why it's not in use. Actually, no, yeah, this should go in useful, actually. These are only useful because of Giant, because you might be able to get 1 stock off of it, but that's it. Because in a 3-stock game, for 2 slots, nah. And in fact, this one's not even like a 2 slot. This is a primary only skill. So once that stock is done, that's it. You know, doesn't matter. Right, so initial damage 30%. This goes in the negligible one because it's one of those skills that are somehow worse than lifesteal. Banana gun, at least it works. Stats plus after eating, that is rule set dependent. Stamina, rule set dependent. Hyper smash attacks, at least it works. Impact run, this is actually really strong. So this actually goes into very strong category because There's a lot of combos you can do out of Impact Run. Impact Run is crazy. It is a actionable hitbox that you can do out of a dash. Now, the hitbox starts after the initial dash animation. So like every character has like an initial dash animation when they first start dashing, and then they have that full run animation. This starts at the full run animation, right? It is a hitbox that's active every frame. It doesn't get multiplied by attacks, so it basically does nothing in terms of damage, but it still gives the opponent hit stun, and it has almost fixed knockback. It really does the same amount of knockback no matter what. It doesn't start like making combos drop until like they're past 100. It's actually really crazy. And then you can combo this into almost everything. You can combo this into kill confirms. You can combo this into imagination. Any aerial move, sometimes even land moves, you can combo this into. You can combo this into some smash attacks. It's insane. It's insanely strong. And this is so free. You can just run up to an enemy, and if they don't block, you get a combo. And if they do block, you can bait that block and then do a tomahawk. Just like you would try like doing a landing aerial, and then you would end up not doing the aerial and, you know, doing a tomahawk, right? If you decide to do a tomahawk from an impact run, there's no way to punish that. There's no way to punish it. That's the funny thing. No way to punish it. Because the thing is, the only solution to impact run, the only real solution is to block. Now, of course, there's projectiles, right? But with a fast enough character that they're not going to have a chance, right? So all the opponent has to guess is to block or not to block, right? But the thing is, actually, no, that's not even a guess, because they do have to block. Because if they don't block, then they're gonna get hit by the combo, right? So they're going to block every time you run in with this. So all you have to do is grab, right? And you have to guess when they're going to block and when they're not. And if they don't block, what are they going to do? Right? Because the thing is, like, if they don't block and you try to do a tomahawk, right? That means you grab the air, right? Because you actually hit them. But what are they going to do to punish that? They're in hit stun. There's no real way to punish this. It's really just a matter of, if they don't block in time, you get a free fucking combo. And if they do block, you can still grab them. It's, oh man, there's almost no punishment to this, assuming you use it correctly. Critical healing and metal. This is actually better. This goes into the useful category, because I believe it does work every stock, if I remember correctly. So it actually does work pretty well. You get some healing, and then you turn metal, which that's exactly when you actually want to turn metal, when you're actually at high damage. So I believe it heals you by 50% or like 30%, and then turns you metal as it's happening. So I believe it activates at like 80 or 100 or something like that. Hold on. Alright, so I am back. So next we have Fist and Foot Attack. Now this is a little bit different than all the other attack up spirits, because this actually increases this by 20% instead of 10%, which puts it in the useful category. It still gets outclassed by most builds that you can use it with, but it's good. It's good. It's better than regular old fist attack. Especially since the primary that you use it for is Kazuya. Especially since you can use this with Kazuya, and because pretty much all of his attacks are either kicks or punches, and then the spirit that this is on is a Kazuya spirit. It's a Tekken spirit, so you get the series boost on top of that. Next, you have Drill Equipped. This actually goes in useful category. Assuming it'll, yeah, there we go. In fact, let me resize this. It's actually, can I make this wider? Is there a way I can? It's not what I meant to do. Okay. So, assist. Wait. Ah, come on. It straight up moves some of them. I gotta look at this all again. Why is this in here? Oh wait, yeah, I remember why I put that in there. Okay, so I think I just moved all the ones that were on the bottom tier here. Alright, so first strike advantage. This went. Oh wait, no, that was actually my. These were actually the duplicates. Okay, go right over here. So. I think the rest of this are things that actually. Yeah, okay. Double Final Smash. This one is pretty alright. Wasn't there also supposed to be chance of double Final Smash? I'm not sure if I have chance of double Final Smash here, but either way, it goes in the same category, which is in the useful category. Fairy Bottle equips, negligible, because the thing is, Fairy Bottles are only useful if you're like at 100. So what's the point of spawning with one? What's the point? Just doesn't make any sense. Franklin Badge. This goes in the useful category because even though it's only at the start of the match, it lasts for a good while. For a lot of characters, it depends. It invalidates our entire moveset. There's just a lot of situations where this can actually work. Back shield equips, at least it works. Running start, at least it works. We know this one's basically negligible. My bad. In fact, actually no. Undamaged. All the undamaged things are basically negligible because this only affects the very start of the match. And it doesn't even affect it by very long, though. I mean, it doesn't even affect it by very much. So all the undamaged stuff actually go right here. Beast Ball equips. This actually goes in useful because it's one of the best item builds. Mouthful Curry, at least it works. Trade-off speed, at least it works. Trade-off defense, at least it works. Metal Killer. Matchup dependence. The bomb equips, at least it works. Undamaged attacks, negligible, screw attack. This is actually useful. Screw attack actually goes in useful because some characters have combos that zero death people with this, so you can at least get like a stock out of that. So it works. Improved escape is surprisingly useful. It's surprisingly useful because there's a lot of builds that revolve around buries and sleeps and all that things of that nature, and this increases your ability to escape all of them. So you can actually get out of sleep pretty quickly. You can get out of, buries very quickly. There's a lot of things that you can get out of faster with this. Trade off attacks. At least it works. Super leaf. Isn't that the floaty thing? At least it works. Bomber equipped. At least it works. Bunny hood. At least it works. Trade off ability. At least it works. I have the same screenshot twice. That's a duplicate. Put it on the bottom there. Energy shot, attack and resistance. At least it works. Chance of double final. There it is. This also goes in useful. Right next to double final smash. Staff equips. At least it works. Invincibility after eating. Matchup dependence. Rule set dependent. Shield durability. This is the counter to shield damage. This is the one skill that is used to make it to actually work against shield damage, and that goes right there. Special move power. There is a reason why this is here. A lot of people might be confused because I earlier stated that fist attack here represents everything involving blank attack up, and obviously this is right here, right? And that's because this actually has a different multiplier. Special move power, despite being on legendary support spirits, goes in here. Because it only gives you like a 4% or like 5% increase instead of the normal 10, which is stupid. Steel Diver, at least it works. Strong Throw, I believe that is also... Yeah, this one's nearly negligible, because even though it does give you a 10% attack bonus like the fist attack and all that, that's on grabs. Grabs are pretty shit. Kazuya might be able to use them, but again, they basically make no difference. Because you can't combo with grabs. Well, or rather, you can combo out of grabs, but grabs don't combo in themselves. Like, most of the damage you're dealing is from things that you do after the grab, not from the grab itself. So, a grab alone dealing 40, and by the way, this doesn't work as good. A grab alone dealing a bunch of damage just isn't going to work. And keep in mind, command grabs do not get affected by this. So, it is just regular grabs. Zapfloor immunity, rule set dependence, transformation duration, nearly negligible. It's going to give you like 2 more seconds of any given transformation, like metal or giant. It is not going to make a difference at all. Mouthful of curry. This is the ++ version. Still in the at least it works. Fire weakness. Right next to water weakness in D tier. GMFS charge. Negligible because, it's not going to make that much of a difference, frankly. Critical fast final smash meter. This one's a little different. This is not to be confused with final smash meter, right? Because this one goes in at least it works, right? But this, on the other hand, critical fast final smash meter is broken. In fact, it goes... there is a build that puts it in S tier. One build. And that is simply if you use this with Peach. I've actually done this a lot in the Spirit arenas that I've been playing. And it works because Peach's Final Smash still retains most of its utility, right? Because even though the initial hitbox does less damage, right? It still puts everyone to sleep. and it still heals you by 60, and it's still and you can still follow up with a fully charged forward smash, right? So if you do all three of those things, this skill gives it to you twice per stock. Once you hit 80 damage, this thing heals your final smash meter, or rather, it charges your final smash meter 10% of the meter, like of the full meter, every single second. And it does that for 25 seconds. So you are guaranteed to get usually two. You usually get two final smashes with this build. And you get it every single stock. It takes effect every single stock, which is disgusting. Yeah. So that's that. So, in Peach's case, you basically have two stocks every stock. Once you hit 80%, you essentially reset your full stock and then get some free damage on top of that. And there's almost no counterplay to it. The only counterplay is this little buddy right here, which that's why I said we would talk about it later. That's this buddy. Slumber immunity. It makes you immune to the sleep from Peach Final Smash. This is the one counter to it. If you know someone's about to use that Peach build, pull out that. Because that will instantly make you win against that Peach. Because that means they can't Final Smash you at all. Because if they do, they're going to give you healing. So you remove their Final Smashes out of the equation. This beats everything, almost everything the game has to offer. Except for this one skill. That one skill will destroy an entire Peach setup. Poison power up, set dependent. Critical hit plus. This is negligible. It's essentially negligible. Critical hit is just not good. It's just not good. There should be another critical hit. Where did I put it? Did I accidentally put it else somewhere? Well, either way, both critical hits go here in negligible. They both go here. And the reason why is because they just don't have enough. They just don't make enough of a difference. So what happens is, how do I put it? Critical hit, the regular version, gives you a 5% chance, right? A 5% chance to deal, I believe it was 20% more damage. So do some math on 5% is 1 in 20, right? So what's 20 divided by 20? Hooray! You have a statistically average of 1% more damage. That gets beaten out by most of the things here. Yeah. And critical hit, the better version, which is the screenshot, gives you I believe it was a 3.4% total increase after you include the stats, because I believe it was like a 15% chance to deal 30% damage or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the numbers were, but it was similar to that. Just insane. No, never mind. It was like a 15% chance to do 25% more damage, or something like that. Something stupid. Something that definitely shouldn't be working. So then you have weight up, which goes in the at least it works right alongside weight up. You got critical health stats, negligible, because the amount of time this is actually going to make a difference is not very much. Bane of Light, Bane of Darkness, rule set dependent. These only work in World of Light, and even then, they're not very good. They don't actually make a real statistical difference. They just make the battle go faster because you both deal more damage to each other. Gravity Change Immunity, that's another rule set. Bury Immunity, that is matchup dependence, because against characters with buries, this actually helps a lot, but so does Improved Escape, except Improved Escape can be used for more than just that. It can be used for grabs, it can be used for sleep, it can be used for shield break, it can be used for a lot of things. Critical health attack, negligible, because the thing is, these critical health things, especially the ones that just increase your stat, right? They're just not going to be active for long enough to do anything useful. Final Smash Up. Now, this is one of the DLC spirits. This was Behemoth. Not Behemoth. I'm an idiot. This was, what's the name of it? Jeez. Oh, Bahamut. Bahamut, that's what it's called. This goes in negligible. It's, I believe, a 3-slot spirit that increases your final smash's damage by 50%. Yeah, it's not going to make a difference. Critical Super Giant. This is actually more useful than regular Giant. So while normally Giant would go here, Critical Super Giant actually goes in very strong. Because the thing is, you're actually more likely to get a kill off of this, right? It only activates at 80 or 85 or something. And it still only activates once per game. But this is a good way to guarantee a kill. Which is... And then in a lot of cases, get a kill right after that. Because the thing is, you're gonna be more likely to survive. Like this is just a more useful time to be Giant than at the start of the match. It's just much more useful to be at Giant when you're at 80 on the first stock rather than just Now the only catch is somebody can easily just take you out right after you become Giant. But like they could hit you with a move that kills you, right? While you're at like 76, and then that'll put you at 80. You'll turn Giant, and then you'll die. There's that little case of it happening, but still, this is much more useful. I wouldn't recommend using it, but it does have use, right? In fact, actually, now that I think about it, it's 3-slot. If you use this, you can't use anything else. So, yeah, still goes into the Giant. Yeah, still goes into the useful tier, but it's definitely better than Giant and Metal and Giant. It's better than both of these. I will say that. Also, these don't have like specific order. I do want to mention that I'm putting stuff sometimes in a specific order, but not really. Item auto grab for the same reasons as the item gravitation. This actually works. These two work very well with each other. So if you have both of these skills on, then any item you throw will automatically come back to you, and you'll automatically pick it up too. So it's very easy to continue item combos with these. Next you have Team Power Up, which is rule set dependent. This only works if you're in a team, and even then, it's arguable that you can just use other things. Strong with Immunity, that's another rule set dependent. Screen Flip, that's rule set dependent. And Trade-off Ability, I think... Was that another duplicate, or... No? No, I don't think so. Trade-off Ability, at least it works. And there you have it. All the skills in the game. This is the rule set. I mean, this is the tier list. So you have... These skills are in the top tier, broken tier. And then these are in very strong. These are in the useful category. These are in the at least it works, meaning it does something, right? Not necessarily something that's actually going to make a huge difference, but it's something that's useful enough to give you a little bit of a push, right? And then these give you so little of a push that like it's really, what's the reason of actually putting them on? You might as well not put anything on, frankly. That's how weak these are. And then you have the ones that could be bad, could be like kind of good, or could be just completely broken. Just hold on. I'm getting some lag on it. Okay, so my streams are working. For some reason, my Streamlabs froze. I'm not exactly sure why, but it looks like my Streamlabs froze. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Luckily, my stream is still on though, so either way. Yeah, so matchup dependent. It could be good, it could be bad. But it all depends on who you're up against. It can be completely useful if you're not up against a specific build or a specific player, right? But it could also be pretty decent, or it could just be a complete game breaker. Like Slumber Immunity, it's terrible and it's absolutely useless on any build except for that Peach build. And I mean, you can also use it against Jigglypuff. I do want to mention that, and against Hero using the sleep spell. But either way, the only real difference it's going to make is going to be against Peach, and that is going to completely destroy Peach builds, because she cannot use her final smash unless she wants to give you free healing. That's all she wrote. And then you have the rule set dependent, which same thing as a matchup dependent, except it depends on the rule set you're in. So like some rule sets it can be good, but it all just depends, right? Depends on what rule set it's on. So yeah. Next, we're doing the primaries. Now this one is a little bit more dependent on it's a little bit more kind of, how to put it? What's the word for it? It's a little bit more dependence on, how to put it? Oh, damn. It's a little more lenient. That's a good way to put it. You can technically use the worst spirit in this list and still do pretty well, right? Because most of the spirits don't have a huge difference, but there are definitely some spirits that stand out, right? First spirit that really stands out, you already knew it was going to happen. Good old Black Knight. And then you have Beast Ganon. Those are some spirits that stand out. In fact, let's just go from the top from here. So QDJ, we got Viable. Yeah, so basically, how I'm splitting this up, you got really strong spirits. These are the spirits that you're going to see all the time, and for good reason, because they usually have good stats. They have good amounts of good amounts of stats, good amounts of skills, or like, generally good stuff, right? Man, I'm tired. Basically, these are things that already have really good traits and really good slots on them. Like Impact Run is already a really good move. So the fact that this comes with Impact Run with 3 slots, that makes it broken. Really strong. Black Knight comes with Armor Knight, still has 2 slots, really strong, right? And then you have Vile Spirits, which are good, right? They're not like bad spirits, but they're not as good as these spirits, right? Like you can still bring these into a tournament. Well, not that tournaments exist, but you can bring these into an arena, and nobody will like really flinch. Like the people will expect things like these. These are the viable spirits, right? And then you have Outclass. These are spirits that it's not that they're particularly bad, but a lot of things are just, you just think to yourself, why not use something else, right? So, So first spear that goes in that, Baby Bowser. This one as well. Jeez, I can't even see most of this. Hold on, because I got to be reminded of some of these stats, right? Jeez, it doesn't even show the skills. That's gonna be annoying. You know what? I gotta pull up another tab. Because I actually do have a spreadsheet of all of my one second. Alright, yeah, so that's an outclassed. This is outclassed. This one is viable. Outclassed. This one's inviable. This is the one Ace Spirit that has the... In fact, actually, no, this goes in strong. Because it has 3 slots and it comes with the undamaged... No, not undamaged. It comes with weapon attack and movement speed, which is pretty good for like sword characters and stuff like that. Especially if you're using a Fire Emblem character. Ooh, this one's pretty... not bad. Kata, strong. Ninten, viable. Protoman, viable. Rex, strong. Dr. Eggman, viable. Wait, did this one have 3 slots? Hold on. Yeah, I mean, viable. But it doesn't have any skill though, right? Nah, it didn't have any skill. What is Klaus? Yeah. What does Baby Bowser do? Yeah. Yeah, everything looks good so far. So, Master Cycle. Outclassed. You'd be surprised how many things go in the outclass. Dark Matter goes in outclassed. Right, Bowser goes in viable. Dark Emperor goes in outclassed, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah. Deoxys goes in... I believe Deoxys was non-viable, actually. Yeah, non-viable. Devil Jin is actually pretty strong. Supersonic, viable. Wait, no, that's not Akuma. That's what's his face. Guile, viable. Yeah, he's viable. Actually, no, he's outclassed. He has too much defense, not enough attack. Not viable. Not viable. Not viable. Viable. Mega Man. EXE. What is Mega Man EXE? What does he have? Forgive me for not looking at chat if anyone said anything. Nope. Nobody said anything. So, in fact, let me have chat open. Let me... Yeah, there we go. So, Mega Man.exe, he does nothing but have 3 slots, so he's outclassed. Gigamac, he's viable. Master Core, outclassed. In fact, actually, no, this is not viable. You don't want to start with 30% damage. You just don't want to start with 30% damage unless you're actually getting something out of that, and even then. Captain K. Rool, outclassed. Fierce Dieting Link. That is outclassed. I believe he only has one slot, right? Yeah, only one slot. Outclassed. I believe this guy, dark, blah blah blah. He's viable at least. Nah, he's more along the lines of outclassed. Donkey Kong Lady, viable. Skull Kid, Majora's Mask. Outclassed. Viable. WarioWare. What kind of stats do you see running with Wario Man? Yeah, no. Outclassed. Trevor Belmont, outclassed. This guy is actually viable. This guy is outclassed. Hard. In fact, actually, no, he's not viable because his stats are so low that the fact that he has super armor doesn't even matter, frankly. Because he'll get hit like 3 times and bam, he's out of super armor. What is this one? Dynasty or Dynablade, right? Dynablade. Jump 2 slot. Nah, that's outclassed. This guy's actually strong. Arceus is outclassed. Akuma not viable. Black Shadow. I believe he has 3 slots, right? He has 2 slots, so he's outclassed. Akira. He's viable. What is that? Alucard? Alucard is viable. No, he's outclassed. Queen Valencia. Very strong. Sukapon. What was Sukapon? Let me check. Yeah, nah, outclassed. Rodin, viable. What's her face? Mega Diancie, viable. In fact, actually, no, this one goes in strong. Very high defense. Comes with, what's it called? Franklin badge, pretty good. I think that's Raiden. Yeah, Raiden goes in outclassed because I think he doesn't have any skills, right? No, and he's only got 2 slots. Paper Bowser, outclassed. Paula, outclassed. Prince blah blah blah, outclassed. Sirius is actually viable. Zelda viable. Lynn viable, not because of her skill, but because of her stats. In fact, actually, let me double check on that. Lynn. Yeah, her stats are pretty good. Super Shadow. What does Super Shadow have? Nah, outclassed. Wolf Lincoln Midna. This one's decent enough to be viable. Taboo. Psy Attack. Yeah, this one goes in viable. Oh, I accidentally move you. Octo. This one goes in outclassed. Zelda goes in viable. Soma Cruz goes in outclassed. I know this is going to be surprising a lot of people, but he goes in outclassed. He also goes in outclassed. Actually, I'm not even sure what his stats were. Zygarde. Yeah, I guess he can go in outclassed. I forget this guy. I can't even tell. Dude, these are so small. Xander, okay. He's got 3 slots, so I guess he can go in outclassed. Zaki Nizamigensa also goes in outclassed. You might be wondering why these are 2 perfectly good spirits. Why do they go in outclassed? And that's simply because Giratina is the good the good 3 slot spirit. 0 goes in viable. Gino outclassed. Mr. Bison goes in outclassed. Mechafiora. This is actually in the strong tier for the same reasons as Kata. Basically the same spirit. The only difference is neutral. Heihachi is actually in the strong. Right alongside Devil Jin. Mislos. He is not viable. And that's because of his polarizing attack stat. Baby Mario, that goes in the outclassed skill. Emperor, outclassed. Marks, outclassed. Actually, no, Marks goes in viable. Marks isn't viable, I think. Yeah, Marks is viable. Metalface, he is in the outclassed. Nightmare Wizard, outclassed. James McCloud. James McCloud is outclassed. Mother Brain. Mother Brain is outclassed. Keldeo. What was that? A 3 slot with the Hyper Smash, I believe? No, it's a 1 slot with Hyper. Yeah, nah, bro. Crystal, outclassed. Liquid Snake, not viable. Yeah, 1 slot and nothing proof for it. Nah, that's in the non-viable category, fam. Link, at least he's got 3 slots, I believe. Yeah, so since he's neutral, I guess you can go in viable. Actually, no. By that logic, I should also put. Yeah, nah. Light suit. In fact, Summer Cruise can go inviable just because. Light suits. I believe Light Suit has 1 or 2. 2. Is outclassed. Lynn, go. Did I take 2 screenshots of Lynn? Because I could have sworn I already moved her. Yeah, I did take 2 screenshots of Lynn. Whoops. Whoopsie. That's a duplicate. Okay, so Omega Ridley goes in outclassed, I believe. Because Omega Ridley only has like 1. No, 2. Either way. The stats are just not high enough to justify that. The boss. What does the boss have? Ooh, yeah, no. Outclassed. Fury Bowser. And that's a new one. But it's also... Can't remember what it was. I think Fury Bowser was on the same viability as Dry Bowser, I believe. So yeah. Because I believe Fury Bowser also had 2 slots. Okay. So I believe we have our primary spirit. Now keep in mind, these are mostly just kind of estimated, so to speak. So like, it's not really crazy specific. It's just kind of there, right? So yeah. And then lastly, we have the character tier list. Whew. So we have 3 tiers here. We have very strong, which means we currently have something that really, really works for this build, like for this character. Something that's really good, something that works a lot, and something that character can actually do that does something crazy. So far, we have Bowser, who can take advantage of a lot of tank builds, take advantage of a lot of super armor builds. There's a lot of things that he can really take advantage of. And then we have Dark Samus as well as Red Samus. Then we have Donkey Kong. Then we have what else was there? Sword Fighter, me Sword Fighter. What else was there? Fox is very, very good. Ice Climbers we know can be good, even though like I'm not good at them. You can actually pull off a lot of desyncs and force them through insta drop, so you can actually desync easier and do it better in neutral, and also cover your neutral better in general with good old Ice Climbers. Then you have Daisy. Joker. He has a ladder combo. Ken is a really great shield break character. Ganon is a really good shield break character. And Cineroar is a really good shield break character. Little Max is a really good shield break character, as well as a really good tank character. If you use land style with pretty much any land style spirit is really good on Little Mac. Lucina is really strong, and Chrom is also really strong because of that. So is Roy and Marth. All of these clones in general are really good. Let's see what else we got here. Palutena has a ladder combo. Peach goes in the same tier as Daisy for, because obviously they're already Peach and Daisy, right? But they also have that crazy Final Smash combo. Then we have Robin, because Robin's Nosferatu becomes all the more useful when he's using a tank build. Then you have Sephiroth, really great shield break character. Steve, really great shield break character. Pyramithra, really great shield break character. Min Min, really great shield break character. Terry, really great shield break character. Zero Suit Samus has a lot of ladder builds. Shulk, really good shield break character. Samus goes in the same spot as Dark Samus because they're both really good shield break characters. Well, not shield break characters. They have a stall and they also have a ladder. Meta Knight has a really fast grab, which certain mobility builds really enjoy. Let's see here. Ryu also can do shield break. Kazuya is not in this list. I'm so done. Kazuya would also go in very strong. So Jigglypuff's really good stalling. So then I think next we have. Oh wait, no. Pokemon Trainer is also really good. Because I believe Flare Blitz breaks shield. So yeah, pretty good, pretty good. And then what else? What else? What else does he have? I forgot. I guess just the character dynamic works really well in Spirit Mode. Oh, Mario. Mario does deserve to be in here. Yeah, so let's see here. So then viable, we got Bayonetta. Well, actually, no. Bayonetta's unexplored. You're unexplored. You're viable. You're viable. You're viable. You're viable. Oh, wait, no, yeah. Pit and Dark Pit actually have ladders, so... Where the hell is Pit? There we go. You're unexplored. You're unexplored. You're unexplored. You are unexplored. You're unexplored. You're viable. You're viable. You're viable. You're viable. You are viable. Wait, no, she's unexplored. You're unexplored. You are viable. You are also... Is Kirby viable? Unexplored. Yeah, so basically viable means you already have something that works with your character. There are builds that already currently work and benefit your character a good amount, right? Not quite as much as the very strong people, right? Because these things, these usually have something that goes above and beyond, right? But these actually have some use, right? While these, we just don't know. Not enough people have played them to actually know whether or not these can be good, right? Link is also unexplored. Lucario is viable. Lucas. I think that goes unexplored. Luigi unexplored. Mega Man unexplored. Mario, Mewtwo unexplored. Game & Watch viable. Actually, wait. Nah, he's not good enough to go in very strong yet. Actually, wait, yeah, he does have a very strong. His down air combo, if you have landing lag, his down air combos into up B very, very good. Or rather, it's not like combos, but like his down air becomes almost impossible to punish because you can just up B right after. Ness goes in viable. Olimar actually used to be. This is a funny story. Olimar used to be tippy top tier. He would go beyond this. He would go all the way up here. Before he was patched, because back in like 1.0 Ultimate, there was a bug involving his Pikmin, where like all the attacks that involved Pikmin, outside of his side B, would for some reason deal much more damage than they're supposed to. Like it would take the spirit multiplier twice, and what that would cause is it would cause you to deal way more damage than you're supposed to. Like we're talking more. You would deal like 60 with a forward air against an actual like legendary spirit, and you were just using the same legendary spirit. it was stupid, right? Pikachu, I'm pretty sure this actually is just viable. We haven't like figured out anything crazy with Pikachu, but you know it's a strong character. Same goes with Pikachu for the same reasons. Pac-Man unexplored. Piranha Plant viable. 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 unexplored, unexplored, viable, 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 unexplored, unexplored. Wait, no, this one's viable. This one's another viable one. Viable, unexplored, viable. Wait, no, this one's not viable. This one's unexplored. This one's viable. This one's viable, and this one is unexplored. Okay, so this is what the this is what the oh shoot, this is what the character spirit tier list looks like. So yeah, there's lots of reasons for all of these. Mostly because these we know they work. The characters still work and they're like very consistent, but they don't like have anything crazy stupid broken on them, right? That can actually constitute them going up here, right? These all have something crazy stupid broken, right? And then these, we haven't seen enough of them to even really explore how their mechanics interact with spirit mode, so we don't know, right? These could be good. These could be good, but we don't know yet. And that's why things went up in this end up in this tier. So this doesn't necessarily mean that the characters are bad. It just means we haven't seen anything good from these characters yet, right? So this one, I'm gonna explain all the characters that go here, right? So this guy works incredibly good with every variant of auto heal or super armor or armor knight. So every really good spirit he works with, right? These two guys, they have a ladder build, right? Which ladder builds are a combo that can... It's a build that gives you a combo that can kill someone very early, usually off the top. So these guys work very well with the ladder build, and then there's actually even a ladder build that uses armor knights that these guys have, right? Donkey Kong has a cheese. He basically has a combo where he can grab you and then do like a short hop cargo throw and throw you up to the top of the blast zone and just instantly kill you, right? You can mash out of it, especially if you have improved escape, but it's still good, right? It's still better than most of the things you can do with them. Me Sword Fighter can kill you at 0 with a Final Smash, and with the critical fast Final Smash builds, he'll have double the chances to do that. And who doesn't want 2 chances to kill someone at 0 every single stock? So Fox has a very, very strong, very consistent ladder build that works with Impact Run. So you can actually Impact Run into this build. And you remember how I mentioned how unpunishable hit Impact Run is. So that's why it's good. Ice Climbers has a lot of desync potential because of Insta Drop and all the different things that you can manipulate with mobility. It allows you to do better desyncs with Ice Climbers. Some cases may basically turn yourself into like a blender, like what's his face from Looney Tunes, the Tasmanian Devil. Just turn yourself into just like a moving tornado, which works really good for neutral. But I mean, we haven't seen anything super crazy. Like people haven't. None of us are good enough to actually make use of that. But that doesn't change the fact that this character has the potential, which is why it goes in here. These two characters, they have that combo, the Final Smash combo, and they can basically have 2 stocks every stock with this, and it's very, very strong. And a lot of times it can get you a free kill, and get you free damage. There's a lot of things it can do with that, on top of giving you basically 2 stocks every single stock. Joker. He's a very solid character already, like as far as frame data goes, and then on top of that, he has a ladder combo. He has another ladder combo, just like Samus, just like Fox. He has a ladder combo himself. Ken is a very, very good shield break user. If you have a shield break build, Ken can take advantage of that really hard. So can Incineroar, so can Ganon, so can Little Mac, except Little Mac also has really good frame data on top of that, so you can kill super early. He can take the use of land style a whole lot, right? And then these are all here because they have good frame data. They are good sorties with good frame data. Roy especially. Roy probably is the best one out of all these because Roy, he has a lot of moves with really good base knockback, which tend to kill a lot better, especially in Spirit Mode. Because you can actually side B off stage and then kill someone early. You don't have to get someone to like 100 just to kill, because people usually survive longer in Spirit Mode. That's just because of the way the damage system works. So if you have a move with a really good base knockback and they can still kill early, that's going to give you a good advantage. So that's why he's here. That's why they're all here. They all have really solid movesets, and they work with Armor Knight. Now, the thing is, Black Knight builds, primaries have a series boost, right? And if you use the same character as that series boost, I mean, if you use the same character as you use a primary, it will give you a 10% bonus to attack and defense. Now, what does 10% mean? As we mentioned earlier, you want balanced stats for a reason, because the stats basically multiply off of each other. So if you have 10% of attack and defense, you really have like a 21% statistical bonus. So it's pretty noticeable. Then you have Palutena. She has another ladder build. She's also a very consistent air character. If you want an air build, like a air mobility build, she's very consistent that way. Robin, very good shield break build, and also at the very because like his down smash breaks shield pretty easily. And then on top of that, he has Nosferatu, which works really well with an Armor Knight build. So if you have a Black Knight build, very, very good tank build, you're effectively healing like double the amount of damage, because the thing is, you're dealing more damage to them, and every damage point that you're healing makes more of a difference to you than it does to them. So this combination is very good, very good. So so that's what lands him in here. Then for Sephiroth, he not only has Octaslash, which is for the same reason as Roy. It kills very early, has a lot of base knockback, so he can get early kills with it. He can also kill very early with Giga Flare, because Giga Flare deals tons and tons of damage. Especially if you're using a very offensive build, he can kill very early with Giga Flare. And you might be wondering, well, how does he even land a Giga Flare? It's so slow. Well, you see, he's also a shield break character. So if you land that shield break, go into Giga Flare. Even if you can do the combo out of it, that makes it even better. And you just get a free 0 death out of that just because, right? Now, Steve, it's not that many people use him, right? Now, he does have a ladder build, and he does have a shield break build. People just don't use him enough. You do have to know what you're doing, but he does have a 0 death shield break punish, right? Assuming you know how to use Steve. And then he can also shield break with a single down air. That's really strong. No matter what way you put it. Pyramithra. Oh, their frame data just takes out everything. They just nothing else competes with frame data, and they have a lot of moves that can also do shield breaks. So mix those, and then it's curtains. There's almost no way to beat them, assuming you actually know how to play these characters. And Spirit Mode doesn't really change that. Now, Min Min is another good shield break character. That's basically all she has. She has the range, she has a shield break. That's pretty much it. But it's still a good shield break character nonetheless. Terry, another really good shield break character, has a lot of good combos. Zero Suit Samus, she's already a character that can do ladder builds. I mean, she's already a character that can do ladder combos. So a ladder build with her ladder combos will actually make her ladder combos much more consistent, much easier to land. You can do them much earlier. You can do them in more difficult situations. You can just convert half your up airs into a ladder combo. It's very easy. Shulk works really good with a shield break build, because he can use the Buster form to make him even easier to break shield. So you're going to land an easy shield break with it, and then you can go to Smash Art and then land an easy kill with it. So you can do a lot of really cool stuff. It's like budget Sephiroth. He's not as good, but you know, it's pretty much the same reasons why Sephiroth's good. Meta Knight, very very fast grab, one of the fastest grabs in the game, and there's actually if you rush in and do a grab, and then you can actually combo out of the grab. I've seen people have a very similar build to a ladder build, except we call these a wall of pain builds, and it's just like a ladder combo except it's horizontal. It doesn't kill, but it's still a really solid combo, and getting all that out of the grab is very very strong. Ryu is just like Ken in the manner that he has really good shield break builds, and you can do a lot with that. Jigglypuff can stall. It can stall forever. So if you have a stall build with Jigglypuff, especially with like Mega Diancie, you can do a lot with that. Now with good old Pokemon Trainer, it's not that like there's anything particular with Pokemon Trainer that makes them work. It's just that, well, aside from the fact that Charizard can break shields pretty easily, but aside from that, it's really just because he's a super solid character, especially in Spirit Mode, because a lot of the frame data is really good, and this general frame data matters a lot in Spirit Mode, even more so than like regular Smash. So that's what makes him really good. Now, Mario's already a solid character, but with a ladder combo build, he can not only play a lot more safe because he could play using the air a lot, but he can just like Zero Suit Samus. He has the ladders he already has work a lot better. It's a lot more consistent. I've already used him a lot in my previous streams, so that was a lot. I used it a lot. So it works really good. And then you have Pit and Dark Pit. They both have ladder combos, and that's pretty much all that they have. But that they have ladder combos, and it uses Hades, so they deal a lot of damage with it. Then with Game & Watch, with landing lag down, he can do down air into up B, and there's almost no way to punish that. So he can just do that all game, and just kind of what can you do about it aside from have a projectile character, and even then, not even really able to do much, right? So all of these characters, they have something that improves. They have something that gets improved by spirits. It's not like anything particularly amazing, but these characters do have strategies. They do have strategies. You can utilize these characters for good reasons. They just don't actually like have anything along the lines of these characters. So these characters, these are all pretty similar, but they have different ranges of abilities. And then these, we don't know. That's it. So all in all, we have dude, I wish I can organize this a little bit better. How could I make that? Can I do something in between, please? Let me see if I can do a screenshot. Can I zoom that in? Dude, that looks like shit. Oh god, okay. Well, I guess I will just have to deal with what we have. So this is the spirit tier list. This one I'm just gonna zoom all the way in, so you can see everything. So. And then these two are duplicates, don't worry about these. And then with this one, no. Okay. Oh well. So these are the primaries. And the only one missing is Safe Capsule, which goes right here in the non-viable category. And then lastly, we have the character tier list. And the only one missing is Kazuya right here, which goes in the very strong category. And that concludes the Smash Bros. Spear list for Spear Mode. We finally did it. It finally exists. A full tier list of every single spirit in the game. So, I will see you guys next time. I'm more than likely going to stream again tomorrow and play some arenas maybe, or maybe play some Minecraft. Who knows? I'm gonna see what I feel like doing, and I'm gonna do it. So, I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a good one.